We're at Leavesden Studios, where they're filming Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, going behind the magic of this mega movie. In a moment, we'll see how they pulled off this amazing dragon chase. But first, I'm having a nose round Hogwarts.
This library set is brand new for the Goblet of Fire, and there's over 7,000 books on the shelves here and in these stacks. 2,500, they're made from polystyrene. The other 4,500 are recycled from other films, and loads of them are actually old phone books. But it's the attention to detail that I find so incredible. Have a look at this. This is a Quidditch World Cup programme, and the detail inside is incredible. They've got sponsorship, they've got team news, and it's never going to be seen up close on the film. It is just mind-boggling. I think I found myself my first souvenir. This stuff is made from plaster and fiberglass, but it looks and it feels just like stone. Behind Dumbledore's desk is a room that has never been filmed in, and yet it's been dressed with as much care as any other part of the set. It all just goes together to make it feel so real, even though when you stood here, you know on just the other side there's a load of scaffolding holding it all up.
But the sets aren't the only thing that's realistic here. As part of the Tri-Wizard tournament, each of the competitors has to retrieve one of these, a golden egg from a vicious fire-breathing dragon. Only one small detail, fire-breathing dragons. They don't exist, do they? Of course they don't. But for creature effects supervisor Nick Dudman, it's just another day at the office.
This is a hard fiberglass version, like this. This is made so that we can scan it, and the visual effects house producing the CG or digital dragon will have this to work from as its datum, so that this is the object that locks the colour, the sculpt, the shape, the tone, the translucency, everything. So this actual dragon head doesn't itself appear in the film. It's merely the object from which all the computer information is taken.
What I try to bring to it is the physics of actually how to make these things move, because it's one thing when we get artwork which is beautiful in its own right, but it's another thing to actually create the moving images that you ultimately see up on the screen. The huge arena that he first encounters the Horntail was built on the back lot, but we made it look like it was placed up in the Highlands of Scotland. The funny thing about the dragon sequence is just the iterations we went through to make something pretty heart-stopping, and I think we realized that through this huge chase that takes place in Hogwarts. We had to realize a lot of the caverns and twists and turns with the computer imagery, which was, I believe, the first time we've sort of done a computer version of Hogwarts.
Stuff like the dragon sequence.
3, 2, 1, go!
That should look brilliant.
Have you got used to acting when there's nothing there? You know, sort of acting to a dot or acting to something that's going to get put on afterwards?
Yeah, I suppose I have, really. I mean, because also it wasn't even much getting used to it involved, because I started at about 10, I think, 10 or 11, doing that kind of stuff where the other actor or the other creature isn't there. It's kind of all I've ever known.
Did you or did you not put your name into the Goblet of Fire?
No. But some of the other actors, like Miranda Richardson, who plays journalist Rita Skeeter, need to draw on their experience.
I mean, it's what we trained for God's sake.
Just ignore the quill. Of course, you're no ordinary boy of 12, are you?
14.
The story's legend. Do you think it was the trauma of your past that made you so keen to enter such a dangerous tournament?
No, I didn't enter.
Of course you didn't.
There was a whole load of us during the dragon tournament, sitting looking at a green screen and a man with a tennis ball going, and look at this now, and the dragon is coming down here now, and now we're here, and we have sort of like a sort of choreographed fireworks competition, you know, ooh, ah, ooh, duck.
Young love.
Rita is prone to getting the wrong end of the stick. But this is a film with some love stuff. She's just looking in the wrong place.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I was just wondering if maybe you wanted to go to the ball with me.
Take it!
Newcomer Katie Leung plays the part of Cho Chang, Harry's love interest.
So you're set to be the envy of millions of girls around the world.
I'm quite scared about that.
Great. Can we just look at it back, please?
It's just so magical. Like, you feel like you're in a dream, really, because, you know, obviously this kind of thing doesn't happen in real life. Harry, I'm sorry, but someone's already asked me.
I like Harry in this way because he's sort of like Spider-Man.
Hi, Harry.
Well, he's like Peter Parker because he is a hero. He is brave and strong and courageous and loyal and brilliant person. Rubbish with girls. Which is fantastic because he's not like an archetypal superhero who are always brilliant with girls and they're always just great. And Harry was great. He doesn't get the girl in this, which is fantastic, really.
No problem. Okay, good.
Harry!
But Harry, he does have really strong feelings for Chloe, even though he doesn't know her very well. He kind of has those conversations where you go, yeah, so how are you? Yeah. And then you have nothing else to say. And so it's very sweet, and I think it's quite an endearing part of Harry.
But it's not just Harry who has to find himself a date.
Wait, Hermione? You're a girl.
You're well spotted.
Can't we run away? Come on. It's one thing for a bloke to show up alone. For a girl, it's just sad.
I won't be going alone because, believe it or not, someone's asked me.
And the reason for all this hormone-fueled activity is the Yule Ball.
And I said yes.
I would have to say my favourite scene would be the Yule Ball, which was just so much fun.
The Yule Ball is first and foremost a dance.
A dance which provided a minor challenge for designer Stuart Craig, who was required to transform the Great Hall into a winter wonderland.
We have seen the Great Hall at Hogwarts so often now, and this had to be special. Lots of these things are driven just by practicalities, really. What can you physically do that would really open everybody's eyes? We found a fabric. I think that was the first thing. We found a fabric which is like lurex, a silver lurex, but was highly reflective, really, really mirror-like in its reflection. So we decided that we would cover every inch of the Great Hall with this highly reflective silver fabric, which we did.
And God knows how long it took them, but I walked in, it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Then, of course, it becomes a nightmare to light because you get reflections everywhere. But they must have spent weeks and weeks doing it.
In fact, it took 90 people over 4 weeks to complete.
Just really quite totally magical, you know.
But it wasn't a magical evening for everyone.
We always thought of the ball as the fourth task because the ball is where all of these emotional pigeons come home to roost.
Harry and Ron, they've been desperate to find dates, and they've been so conscious of they've got to find dates and they've got to get the ball, they've got to have a great time. They get there and they kind of sit there going, oh, it's awful. And it is awful because they have a horrible time.
And you watch them kind of groping about. Perhaps I should rephrase that.
They don't know what to say, they don't know what to do.
You watch them trying to discover just how to do very basic stuff.
Harry's not with the person that he wanted to be. That Ron's like an idiot in his stupid, how's the band going, man, kind of outfit.
Hermione has had rather more success. Her date for the evening is Durmstrang Triwizard champion, Victor Crumb.
Hermione falls for Victor in a big way, doesn't she? I think it's his muscles particularly that she likes.
Well, it's not just the muscles, really.
I don't think she can quite believe that he's looking at her, so she just dismisses it. And then it suddenly starts to hit home that can't quite be coincidence that he's been looking at her for this long and so often.
They hint each other during the film, and then later on we see them come together.
And then Ron gets extremely jealous. Is that Hermione Granger with Victor Crumb?
No. I just think, you know, Ron, he was so sort of like cross and sort of jealous that he was miserable all the way through.
Victor's gone to get drinks. She can't join us.
No, we would not care to join you and Victor.
Hermione gets very upset and they have a big argument.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? Because as readers and as viewers,
yes,
we know that there's something that's unsaid between Ron and Hermione. And are they ever going to get it on?
I hope so anyway. I think it's a very sweet relationship that they have. It's a real love-hate thing. And it's one of those things that girls realise after a couple of years, that guys always tease the ones that they like, and I think maybe that will hit home with Hermione one day.
What's with the flower? Hagrid, have you combed your hair?
And Cupid is also firing an arrow in Hagrid's direction.
He meets Madame Maxine, Olympe Maxine, who is also a half-giant, is the same height as him. In fact, she's taller. He's 8'6". She's 10 feet in her high heels, which she wears, which is just brilliant. 10 foot tall in her high heels. 9'6" without them.
Blimey, that's one big woman.
And he just falls completely madly in love with her. And she's not interested in him. He's a big hairy ruffian, and she's very sophisticated, you know. The idea was that an 8'6" giant and a 10-foot giantess would go onto the floor and dance incredibly well and smoothly, you know. I mean, the obvious thing would be for them to crash into things and knock everybody over. But far nicer, far funnier, really, to have them incredibly smooth. And they're of course, doing sort of ballroom-type dancing while everyone else is doing whatever the cool thing was at Hogwarts.
Whatever that cool thing was, the students needed a helping hand before they stepped onto the dance floor.
Now, place your right hand on my waist.
Where?
My waist. And extend your arm. Mr. Filch, if you please. 1, 2, 3, 1.
You got to learn to waltz.
I did,
What was that like?
It was amazing. We had 4 or 5 dancing lessons with a
And were you all in
fantastic
there?
teacher. Oh yeah, we were all in there doing it. I mean, I love dancing anyway. Some of us had more experience than others, and it was
Are you saying that the
so
boys were
funny.
rubbish?
No, well, not all
That's
of the
what
boys
you're
were
getting
rubbish.
at, isn't it?
Actually, the ones that you'd expect would have been good at it. It was the really quiet ones that you suddenly turned around and thought, wow, check you out.
The other thing that was very nice is seeing all those little slobs in their fine duds. All the girls are in elegant little dresses and the guys are all got ties on.
Hello, boys. Don't you look dashing?
It was kind of like a big occasion, just because they'd never been sort of dressed up like that. There's never been an occasion like that in any of the books, where they were actually socialising and having a ball, literally.
While they're all at the ball, I might just sneak off on a secret mission. Now, the prop store here at the studios is the most alarmed building on site, but fortunately, I've managed to find the keys. You can find everything magical and mystical in here. Broomsticks, rats, magic potions.
Wow, look! It's a wand! Of course, these things don't actually work. Oh, they do.
After the break, Daniel pushes his body to the limits in this phenomenal underwater sequence. How on earth did they do that?